Dear Dad, I'm sorry I didn't get to write to you sooner. You were right. Something did happen in the last 2 months that's worth writing down. I've been real busy here at school, but mainly I just haven't known how to say what I wanted to say. You always ask me if I'm happy here at Fallbrook Academy, and well, to be honest, I'm not. I just want to come home. That's why I'm writing this letter, to tell you that it's all right for me to come back home now. I just don't feel like I belong here anymore. I guess you sent me here because you thought I was extremely upset by Gene Hanlon getting killed at Manning Day School at home, and seeing his dead body and so on. Well, that was only a little part of it. I know the true story, and that's what I'm about to attempt to tell you. I suppose the best place to start is with Gene Hanlon, the boy who got killed. He was a senior, and I didn't like him just from looking at him. He was the typical Mr. Popular. He was a starter on our varsity football team, a natural-born ladies' man, and a flat-out bully. I did the best I could to stay out of his way as much as possible.
Hey, Jay. I have to eat that.
Once, I was on my way to class upstairs as Gene was coming down them. For no reason, he threw me down the steps. My glasses, books, and body flew everywhere. Everyone around it saw it as nothing and continued on their way. Luckily, my good friend Peter Irish was always there for me. He saw what happened and came to help me out and get me back on my feet.
Do you want me to get it for you?
Peter was the only one in school who could have whipped Gene under any rules. I'm willing to bet he was the strongest kid in school, but he didn't ever use his strength to bully anyone. You know for yourself how strong he is, considering that one time he beat you at Indian hand wrestling. You should also know about Peter's girlfriend, Angela. They'd been together for 2 years and didn't want anybody else. Their parents, however, made them date other people. Everyone knew that Angela was Peter's and Peter was Angela's. That being said leads me to another encounter I overheard in the bathroom that same morning. Peter and I had gone to clean up for lunch. While he was washing his hands, I had to go into one of the stalls. As I went in and shut the door, I heard somebody else come in to the washer. It was Gene Hanlon.
You said it. Keep awake this morning.
Oh yeah, why is that?
Big day last night. Friend of yours, Angela Pine. And you're very sloppy.
What do you mean?
Talk about Angela. She's not far around, you know.
She dates other guys.
She hangs out with those goofballs. Then leaves them at the door.
Well, that's her business.
I don't know what her business is, but I got a few suggestions if you know what I mean.
What are you getting at?
She's crazy for it, you know? Yeah, just crazy. Always thinking about it out of town.
Are you through?
What? I'm sure. Hey, you upset with something?
It's time for you to go eat lunch.
Really? Jesus. You're not another. You're not going to.
Peter seemed very quiet all throughout lunch, but that was understandable. Then the time of our daily rock fight came about. I guess I should probably explain to you about these rock fights. You've probably read some about them in the papers, but not everything. The fight started over a year ago, and as I can remember, the faculty never found out about them. Of course, we all knew rock fights were wrong, but they were more fun than they seemed wrong, so we kept them up. We followed a strict set of rules in the fights so that nobody would really get hurt. All the school was divided into 2 teams, the Union Army and the Confederates. After lunch, we'd all get our blue and gray caps and head out into the woods behind the school. The Confederates wore red, while the Union wore blue. Each team had a fort we'd built out of sapling logs. The forts were about 200 yards apart, invisible to the other through the trees and brush. You weren't allowed to use rocks any bigger than a hazelnut, and each time you threw one, you'd have to go with your mouth, so that the other guy would have a chance to duck and get out of the way. We had scouting parties and assault teams and patrols, and all the rest of the military things we could thin up. The objective was to infiltrate the enemy's fort and take it before recess was up, and we had to quit. Anyways, as we got there, teams had already been divided, and Smitty Rice was the general for the Confederacy, and Gene Hanlon for the Union. Gene had already taken his boys off to their fort, as Smitty began to outline a strategy to us.
Take out the other team with rocks right now. Take them out. Go. Now, run. Hurry. Behold. Go.
I got my usual job, advanced observation post. I was to note enemy movement and remember concentrations and directions and elapsed times between sightings. All I had to do was stay in one place and watch and listen and remember. I had 3 or 4 good posts picked out where I could hide and not be seen, and I never used the same twice. Today was my favorite, Baker Post, as we called it. A creek ran generally through the middle, cutting the fighting area between the forts right in two, and made a good defense line. Almost as soon as I had gotten there, I heard someone else approaching. It was Gene Hanlon. He must have forgotten to pick up his ammunition earlier, and was collecting rocks along the way and leaving himself vulnerable. Just as I was about to go and get him, I noticed Peter out of the corner of my eye. I paused to wait and see what he was doing. My heart instantly sank as I saw him bend over and pick up a good-sized rock and begin to lift it to throw it. And just like that, he was using all his strength to throw his rock towards Gene. Gene never knew what hit him. He was down for the count, to say the least. I just sat there, unable to think, unable to move. Peter was no longer in sight, and Gene was a dismembered body on the ground. I then did the only illogical thing to me and ran. Ran as fast as I could. I ran all the way to Able Post and just laid there, unable to comprehend what had just happened. The whole scenario kept running over and over in my head like a film. Then I heard Mervyn Harold yell out,
"Safety! Safety! Oh God! Safety! 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 Help! Help!"
Safety was the call we used to stop the fight if anyone saw a master coming up or someone got hurt. I just laid there for several minutes until I was able to bring myself to stand up. I finally got up and dragged my now numb body to Baker Post. My knees felt as if they were trying to bend the wrong way. I heard police sirens in the distance and everything was happening so fast. When I finally got there, everything seemed too different. The police were already there and everyone was gathered and glued to the side.
Gene fell over the edge of the creek.
Oh God.
Alright guys, there's nothing to see here. Go home. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
That night I couldn't sleep. The events of the day kept replaying over and over in my head like a broken record. I still couldn't even bring myself to believe that it had even happened.
Safety! Safety! Oh God! Safety! 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 Help! Help!
Should I tell on Peter? No, I could never. Peter was my best friend. The next day at school, they gathered everyone up by the office to wait their turn to be questioned by Sergeant Gorman. The tension in the room was so high, I swear I could smell it.
Ronnie Quiller?
And then it was my turn.
Name?
Ronnie Quiller?
We got the rock fight this afternoon?
Yes, I was.
Which side were you on?
The Confederates?
What were you supposed to do?
I was supposed to watch the guys on the other side.
After the whistle, did you see anybody?
No.
You sure you didn't see anybody?
No, I didn't. That's why I moved from Baker Post up to Able Hill. After I didn't see anything going on, I had to get out of there.
You know, if you would have stayed where you were, you would have seen me fall down that hill, right?
Yes.
I wish you had.
happened? Do you think Gene fell?
I don't really know. I don't think anyone would really have the nerve to push him off. It's just,
Well, I guess
yeah.
maybe.
The nightmares didn't stop, and they never did. Every time I closed my eyes, there was Gene, dead as a doornail. I read in the paper that Sergeant Gorman knew all along that Gene had been murdered, and went to Peter's house to confront him on the matter. Peter listened to it all respectfully, and once the sergeant got through to Peter, he went upstairs to get his toilet articles. He got a .410 shotgun instead and shot himself. I suppose it was the same .410 he and I had hunted squirrels with. There's only one good thing about the whole stinking lousy mess, Dad. Because Sergeant Gorman talked to Peter, and Peter listened. There in the living room, when Peter Irish climbed those steps, he did it knowing that I, Ronnie Quiller, had not squealed on him. That may have made it easier for him. I don't know. Now please, Dad, I'm tired now. Please may I come home again? Ronnie.
I still love you after all. I still love you after all. I still love you after all. I still love